They will call you lazy when you wait. They will call you weak when you do not react. Let them. Because the most dangerous man in any room is the one who can stay still when everyone else panics. You think patience is passive. It's not. It's the ultimate act of control. The lion doesn't chase every movement in the grass. He watches, measures, waits for the right pulse in the air, and then he strikes. That's not hesitation. That's calculation. That's patience weaponized. When you understand this, you stop playing by the emotional tempo of the world. You become the conductor. Others move. You remain. They burn energy. You conserve it. That's the Machiavellian truth. Control is never loud. It's cold, deliberate, and unseen. Patience is not the absence of motion. It's motion with precision. It's saying, I will not waste my strike on noise. Every second you wait, the chaos reveals more truth. Every moment of stillness sharpens your perception. While they panic, you plan. So, when they say you're too calm, too quiet, too slow, smile. They just exposed their weakness. Your silence terrifies them because they can't read what you're becoming. Comment this now. My silence is strategy. Number 1. The pressure forge. Pressure. The invisible weight that breaks most men and builds only a few. The crowd fears it. They call it stress, anxiety, hardship. But you must learn to crave it, because pressure is not pain, it's purification. It burns away weakness until only precision remains. Most people run from it. You will walk into it like a soldier walking into battle. Calm, cold, calculated. Understand this. Pressure is not your enemy, it's your instructor. It tests your patience, your composure, your discipline, everything that separates rulers from followers. The Machiavellian mind knows that the more tension you can endure, the more control you gain. While others collapse under heat, you stand still. While they panic to act, you plan. That's what makes you untouchable, not speed, but stillness under fire. Pressure reveals hierarchy. It shows who's built on emotion and who's built on control. Watch how they crumble when the world stops going their way. Watch how they reveal their fears, their impulsive hunger for relief. The patient man does not flinch because he knows that every ounce of discomfort is shaping him into a weapon. When the world pushes, you don't push back. You absorb. You let the energy compress into focus, into force. The impatient shout, the powerful listen. The weak chase instant gratification. The cold strategist collects time like currency. And when the moment comes, he spends it all at once in a single decisive strike. That's the art of war disguised as silence. That's what Machiavelli meant when he said power is not taken by the boldest, but by the one who knows when to be bold. Pressure doesn't break you, it reveals you. Every betrayal, every delay, every insult. They're chisels sculpting your strength. Let people underestimate you. Let them believe you're inactive, uncertain, slow. Because the man who appears motionless while building empires is the most dangerous creature alive. Still, water hides deep currents. The stoic man is not emotionless. He's weaponized. His patience is iron. His calmness, a form of dominance. The more the world tries to shake him, the more he learns to rule it. You can't manipulate what won't react. That's what makes patience a superpower. It turns pressure into energy and energy into control. When you master that, you stop living on the world's timeline. You make time move for you. You stop chasing results and start commanding them. You become the storm's center. The chaos bends around you because you no longer resist it. You use it. Pressure is the forge. You are the metal. Every second you hold your composure, you're being tempered into something rarer, something colder. Comment this now. Pressure doesn't break me, it builds me. Number 2, the cold patience of power. Patience is not kindness, it's not humility, it's calculated restraint. It's the weapon of those who no longer play the game of impulse. You see, the impatient man burns himself with his own fire, reacting, explaining, proving, chasing. The patient man waits, And in that stillness, the battlefield rearranges itself in his favor. Everyone wants power, but few understand that the foundation of power is timing. Timing is born from patience, and patience is forged in discomfort. You can't fake it. You earn it through silence, through control, through the agony of waiting while your instincts scream for release. The world will pressure you to react. Society worships movement. The faster, the better. But speed without strategy is a slow death. The masses mistake motion for progress. The Machiavellian mind knows better. He waits, not because he's weak, but because he knows when he moves, the world shifts. Understand this: patience is the highest form of aggression. When you refuse to be rushed, you force the opposition to show their cards. Every moment they wait for your reaction, they reveal more: their fears, their insecurities, their motives. You don't need to read minds. You let time do it for you. That's cold intelligence. That's power. Powerful men aren't impulsive. They're deliberate. Their calmness terrifies people because it's not natural. It's engineered. It's a signal, a warning, that this man doesn't operate on emotion. He operates on law. Machiavelli taught that the patient ruler controls both allies and enemies because he masters perception. He knows when to seem soft and when to turn to stone. He waits for the exact moment when patience becomes leverage, and then he strikes so cleanly it feels inevitable. That's not chance. That's precision built on control. You must learn to hold your silence when others are screaming for attention, to hold your fire when others are wasting ammunition, to hold your judgment until the truth fully exposes itself. Because time is your spy, it reports everything. The impatient are blind, the patient see all. The cold patience of power means mastering your internal war. It means fighting the desire to prove, to defend, to be seen. Because the need to react is the need to justify, and justification is submission. You never explain power. You demonstrate it through results, not words. Let others play loud. Let them move fast, break things, and burn out. You stay still, invisible, analyzing every move. Every wasted reaction is a resource you conserve. That's how kings win without fighting. They let their enemies exhaust themselves in noise. Patience is not waiting. It's watching. It's standing at the edge of chaos, collecting data while everyone else drowns in emotion. You're not avoiding the storm, you're mapping it. So when you finally move, it's not random, it's surgical. Every insult, betrayal, and delay becomes part of your education. The weak see setbacks as punishment. The wise see them as calibration. Every delay refines your precision. Every disappointment trains your discipline. The man who learns to use setbacks as sharpening stones can't be broken. He's always improving, even in silence. The cold man's patience doesn't mean apathy. It's focus. It's a constant internal hum of calculation. You're not detached because you don't care. You're detached because you're conserving energy for when it truly matters. Emotional men fight for ego. Strategic men fight for control. You must rewire your instincts. When provoked, don't react, analyze. When ignored, don't chase, observe. When delayed, don't complain, prepare. Because impatience is exposure. It reveals your weaknesses, your triggers, your lack of control. Every time you react too soon, you confirm what controls you. But every time you resist, you reclaim authority over yourself. And when you control yourself, you control everything else. Cold patience means knowing that not everything deserves a response. You must learn to let silence do the heavy lifting. Let your calmness insult them. Let your consistency destroy their noise. The loudest man rarely wins. He only exposes how desperate he is to be heard. Power is quiet. It's the slow tightening of influence. It's the unseen accumulation of advantage. It's the man who can sit alone for years, building in darkness, while others scream for recognition. When he emerges, it looks like sudden success, but it's not sudden. It's the reward of strategic stillness. Understand something. The world is built to test your patience. It's designed to provoke, to distract, to push you into emotional reaction. But the moment you master patience, you flip that design against itself. You stop playing defense. You start weaponizing time. Time destroys those who rush, but it rewards those who wait with intent. Every second you hold your composure, you're accumulating unseen momentum. Every pause becomes power. Every silence becomes signal. The world thinks you're inactive, but you're incubating control. When you finally act, it's devastating, because true patience doesn't end in hesitation, it ends in inevitability. You move with the calm of someone who's already won. That's not arrogance, that's awareness. Patience is the mind's shield against chaos. It's emotional bulletproofing. The impatient suffer twice, once from the problem and again from their reaction. The patient suffer once, and even that suffering becomes strategic. Because every moment of waiting is a test of endurance. Pass enough tests and time itself starts to obey you. When you can wait longer than others can tolerate uncertainty, you win by default. Everyone breaks at a certain threshold. You must raise yours so high that no one can drag you into reaction. That's how you rise above the psychological battlefield. By making time your ally and emotion your servant. Never forget, a calm mind is a loaded weapon. Every delay, every silence, every unread response, it's ammunition. You're teaching the world that you're not available to its chaos. You're the one who chooses the moment. Patience is power because it removes desperation. And desperation is what predators smell before they strike. When you remove that scent, you become the predator. You dictate pace, tone, and direction. You don't chase, you attract. You don't rush, you make others rush. That's the cold patience of power, the ability to appear still while the universe rearranges itself around your will. You stop asking, when will it happen, and start declaring, it's already happening, I'm just waiting for the timing. That's not waiting, that's ruling. Comment this now. Time bends for the disciplined. Number 3. The predator's calm. Control is not about domination through noise. It's about domination through presence. The predator doesn't announce itself. It studies. It watches. It waits for the right second when the world looks away. And then it strikes with precision so sharp it feels divine. That's what true calm is. Not softness, not peace, but power disguised as serenity. Every weak man wants to look powerful. He flexes, he speaks loudly, he demands recognition. But the truly powerful man, he moves like smoke. He doesn't need validation because he already possesses certainty. That's what separates the ruler from the ruled. Composure under threat. The ability to look into chaos and feel absolutely nothing. The predator's calm is terrifying because it breaks the laws of emotion. It says, I don't flinch when you roar. It's the kind of stillness that unsettles crowds and disarms enemies. People can fight anger with anger, but no one knows how to fight stillness. They can't predict you. They can't read you. You become a mirror reflecting their fear back at them. The stoic doesn't run from emotion. He harnesses it. He takes the heat of anger, the sting of humiliation, the cold of betrayal, and forges it into strategy. The world is emotional warfare, and calmness is armor. The man who feels too deeply becomes a slave to every impulse. The man who feels everything but shows nothing becomes untouchable. When you're calm, you control perception, and perception is the battlefield of power. Your stillness makes others second-guess themselves. They'll wonder what you know, what you're planning, why you aren't reacting. They'll project their fear onto your silence, and that projection becomes your weapon. This is how you dominate psychologically without saying a word. When you refuse to rise to provocation, you force others to drown in their own noise. You remain the still figure in a storm of emotion. That contrast makes you magnetic and dangerous. People will either want to follow you or destroy you, but they'll never be able to ignore you. You must learn to use calm like a blade. It's not passivity, it's preparation. The calm man listens while others reveal themselves. He studies the rhythm of chaos, the patterns of reaction, the weaknesses in every scream. Then, when he moves with perfect timing. That's why calmness isn't the opposite of aggression, it's the prelude to it. Machiavelli understood this truth. Fear is a tool, but composure is control. Fear makes others act. Composure makes them obey. You must embody that contradiction, the soft voice that commands the room, the silent presence that dictates movement. When you achieve that, you no longer chase respect. You attract it effortlessly. Your calmness should make people question reality. They should look at you and think, why isn't he reacting? What does he know that I don't? That doubt becomes your dominance. It eats away at their confidence while you stay centered, detached from chaos, immune to manipulation. Never reveal your emotional rhythm. Never let them see the pulse of your intentions. To be unreadable is to be undefeatable. When others play on emotion, you play on time. When they rush, you wait. When they scream, you whisper. The most dangerous man is not the one who strikes hardest. It's the one who decides when to strike. You must understand, patience is not passive. It's the act of holding your fire until the target can no longer escape. That's why calmness is not for the weak. It demands self-mastery. It requires you to swallow pride, silence reaction, and endure boredom, because boredom is where strategy breathes. The emotional man needs constant stimulation. The stoic man builds in the silence that terrifies others. To master calm is to master dominance. You are no longer chasing control. You are control. The crowd moves by impulse. You move by design. They act from fear. You act from inevitability. The difference? One is chasing validation. The other is writing history. The predator doesn't roar when it hunts. It breathes, quietly, rhythmically, patiently, because it knows the moment will come when the prey makes a mistake. And when that mistake happens, it doesn't hesitate, it doesn't announce, it simply ends the game. That's how you must live. You're not trying to win arguments or prove worth. You're waiting, preparing, watching. Because the longer you can remain composed under chaos, the closer you are to owning every situation. You don't need to force power. You become so controlled that power gravitates toward you. When you can be calm while others crumble, when you can think while others panic, that's when you're no longer just a man. You're a force of nature, predictable by no one, controlled by nothing. That's the predator's calm, unshakable, unreadable, unstoppable. Comment this now. My calm is my weapon. Number 4, the discipline of delay. Discipline is not about control over your schedule. It's control over your urges. The man who can delay his reaction, his desire, his need for validation, that man walks a path few can follow. Because while the world worships speed, he worships timing. Every great empire, every legendary mind, every unshakable man you've ever heard of, they all shared one trait. They knew when not to move. That's the discipline of delay, the art of waiting without losing direction. Most people think power is built through action, but real power is built through restraint. The weak act because they must, the powerful act because they choose. One moves from impulse, the other moves from intention. That's the difference between chaos and control. You must train yourself to hold back your reactions, not because you don't care, but because you value your energy too much to waste it. Every reaction you don't give away, every emotion you don't expose, every move you don't rush, becomes stored strength, quiet power, untouchable momentum. The man who can wait longer than others can tolerate discomfort, eventually owns the field, because life always rewards endurance over enthusiasm. The enthusiastic burn bright, then fade, the disciplined glow forever. The discipline of delay is not about being passive. It's about being precise. When you move, it's not random, it's right. When you speak, it's not noise, it's impact. You stop reacting to the moment and start designing it. You see, most people are slaves to timing, controlled by the world's tempo. They check, scroll, refresh, compare, rush. Their entire attention span is built on impatience. But when you master delay, you step outside that rhythm. You slow the world down. You start to see what others miss. You see opportunities forming long before they appear. Machiavelli said, "The wise man acts according to necessity," meaning He doesn't act out of emotion, but alignment. He moves when the moment demands it, not a second before. That's what separates patience from hesitation. Patience is controlled awareness. Hesitation is fear. One is strength. The other is surrender. To live with the discipline of delay is to become timeless. You no longer feel the anxiety of when. You stop chasing what's next and focus on what's necessary. You learn to let the universe unfold on its own terms, while you prepare to meet it with readiness instead of restlessness. Every man must pass through the wilderness of waiting, the period when nothing seems to happen, when doors stay closed, when the world feels like it's ignoring you. That's not punishment, it's preparation. The delay is life testing your endurance. The silence is teaching you to listen to your own voice. If you can stay disciplined in delay, you'll win when the moment finally arrives. Because when it does, you'll be sharper, calmer, and infinitely more ready than those who chased every short-term impulse. When you feel the pressure to rush, remind yourself, no great structure was built overnight. The pyramids took lifetimes, empires took decades, mastery takes repetition. You cannot rush permanence. You can only earn it through consistency. Every time you delay gratification, you strengthen identity. You tell your mind, I control this. Every time you delay anger, you multiply perspective. You see the full truth before you act. Every time you delay judgment, you deepen wisdom. You learn that things often reveal themselves with time, not reaction. The discipline of delay transforms how you see success. You stop craving speed and start craving depth. You stop chasing quantity and start refining quality. You begin to understand that the most efficient path isn't the fastest one. It's the one with the fewest wasted moves. Calmness becomes your operating system. You begin to prefer stillness over noise, silence over validation, consistency over chaos. You become less reactive to people's opinions, less swayed by emotion, less dependent on outcomes. Because the moment you delay your reaction, you gain control over your reality. The world will call you detached. They'll say you're too slow, too quiet, too patient. Let them. You're not slow, you're strategic. You're not quiet, you're focused. You're not patient, you're preparing. The ones who mock discipline are the ones who have none. The discipline of delay also means accepting what's beyond your control. You don't resist time, you cooperate with it. You understand that everything unfolds when it's ready, not when you demand it. That acceptance gives you a supernatural calmness. You stop fighting the tide and start using it to your advantage. Because here's the truth, time doesn't move against you, it moves for you if you're aligned. The delay is not denial, it's refinement. Every delay either strengthens your patience or saves you from something unworthy. You must trust that truth with absolute conviction. Machiavellian patience isn't cold, it's calculated compassion. It says, I don't need to rush because I've already chosen who I am. I'm not chasing the next thing. I'm refining what's already mine. I'm not searching for opportunity. I'm preparing to deserve it. Every great mind, philosophers, leaders, creators, they all learned the same secret. Pace beats pressure. The world's noise cannot touch the man who moves at his own rhythm. So when you feel behind, remember this law. Speed means nothing without direction. Direction is chosen in stillness. Stillness requires discipline, and discipline thrives in delay. Your goals don't need your anxiety. They need your patience. Your dreams don't need your panic. They need your persistence. Let others sprint. You build. Let others talk. You execute. Let others seek applause. You seek alignment. You are not here to chase. You're here to create. And creation takes time. Every masterpiece looked like nothing for a long time before it became something eternal. So hold the line. Trust your pace. Stay silent in the storm, because the one who endures the longest always wins. And when your time comes and when patience finally meets opportunity, the world will call it sudden success. They'll think you appeared overnight, but you'll know the truth. You were building quietly all along. That's the discipline of delay. the art of trusting your timing, protecting your energy, and mastering the one thing no one else can, yourself. Comment this now. My timing is my power. Number 5. The art of controlled distance. Power doesn't demand closeness, it demands clarity. And clarity only comes with distance, controlled distance. The art of stepping back from the noise so you can see the full board before making your move. You see, most people drown in their attachments. They cling too tightly to people, emotions, situations, outcomes. They call it loyalty, love, ambition. But often it's just fear. Fear of loss, fear of irrelevance, fear of being alone. But a mind ruled by attachment can never rule anything else. The art of controlled distance isn't coldness, it's precision. It's knowing when to connect and when to detach, when to care and when to conserve. Because energy is currency, and if you spend it on everything, you'll have nothing left for what truly matters, the attendance. Not every emotion deserves expression. Distance doesn't mean apathy, it means awareness. You are choosing where to place your focus. In the Machiavellian sense, distance is strategy. When you step back, you gain vision. You see the currents of Be Disciplined Man learns this early. Not every conversation deserves a response. Not every invitation deserves behavior that others are too close to notice. You start recognizing patterns in people, in opportunities, in yourself. The closer you are to chaos, the less you can see. But when you create space, everything becomes clear. Controlled distance is the foundation of emotional sovereignty. The man who can detach without disconnecting, that's true mastery. It means you can be fully present in the world, yet untouched by it. You can love without losing yourself. You can lead without needing validation. You can walk through chaos and remain unmoved. This is not about isolation, it's about independence. You can stand among thousands and still belong to yourself. That's rare, because most people merge with their surroundings. They absorb energy without filter. But the disciplined mind builds a boundary made of silence. It lets in only what strengthens and blocks what weakens. You must learn to protect your inner space as you would protect a kingdom. That's your fortress, your temple. And not everyone deserves entry. Guard your focus the way a ruler guards his throne, not out of arrogance, but preservation. Because focus is the purest form of power. Distance is how you sharpen perception. When you step away, you begin to see truths hidden in plain sight. You start to understand that not everyone speaks from reason, most speak from emotion. You begin to read silence better than words, consistency better than promises, and action better than intent. That's when you become untouchable. Because you no longer react to what's said, you respond to what's revealed. Controlled distance also gives you balance. The world swings between extremes, love and hate, hope and despair, passion and apathy. The centered man stays still in the middle. He's grounded, he's deliberate. He doesn't chase highs, and he doesn't drown in lows. That equilibrium makes him magnetic. People sense stability in his energy, and they trust it, even if they can't explain why. You must learn to treat distance not as absence, but as presence with intention. It's not that you're avoiding, it's that you're aligning. You're stepping back not to escape the game, but to understand it. Because perspective is a weapon, and you can't gain perspective when you're buried in noise. Machiavelli understood this principle. Power requires detachment from impulse. A ruler cannot afford to act from emotion, he must act from necessity. The same law applies to your mind. When emotion clouds your judgment, step back. When chaos tempts you to rush, step back. When success intoxicates you, step back. Distance restores equilibrium. It resets clarity. Controlled distance doesn't mean cutting people off. It means no longer letting them control your inner state. You can love deeply and still walk away when respect is gone. You can forgive completely and still move forward without return. You can listen to criticism without internalizing it. That's what emotional maturity feels like. Calm, clear, unshaken. The most powerful men in history weren't the ones who spoke the loudest. They were the ones who moved selectively. They understood the value of mystery, the power of silence, the influence of distance, because mystery commands respect. It keeps people curious, engaged, but never entitled. And when people can't predict you, they can't control you. You must stop giving unlimited access to your energy. Not everyone deserves to know your thoughts, your plans, your progress. There's strength in privacy, not secrecy, but sovereignty. You're not hiding, you're guarding. Because not everyone who claps for you wants you to win. Some just want front row seats when you fall. Controlled distance is not arrogance, it's self-respect. It's saying, I am valuable, therefore my energy is valuable. You give access through discernment, not desperation. And in doing so, you build an aura of quiet confidence, the kind that speaks louder than words. The more you master distance, the calmer you become, because you realize you don't need to fix everything, prove everything, or respond to everything. You stop chasing resolution and start embodying it. You don't fight for peace, you become the source of it. And from that state, life begins to bend toward you. Opportunities align, people adjust, chaos softens. Because calmness is gravitational, it pulls everything into order. Controlled distance teaches patience. It reminds you that not every storm deserves your presence. Some battles win themselves if you stop feeding them attention. When you hold distance, time fights on your side. It also gives you identity. You begin to recognize where you end and the world begins. You stop confusing external validation with inner worth. You stop mistaking constant connection for true relationship. You realize that solitude isn't loneliness, it's alignment with your own rhythm. There's a power in walking away without hatred, in being calm where others expect chaos, in maintaining respect where others show rage. That's controlled distance in action, choosing to protect your peace instead of proving your point. You'll find that distance refines the people in your life. Those meant for you will respect your space. Those who aren't will resent it. Let them. You're not responsible for how others perceive your growth. Your duty is to maintain clarity, not comfort. Over time, controlled distance evolves into presence, the kind of presence that doesn't need words to influence. You walk into rooms differently, you observe differently, you think differently, and people will feel it. They'll sense that you've seen too much to be shaken, learned too much to be loud, and mastered too much to be desperate. That's real composure. The calm of a man who no longer needs to prove who he is. He simply is. This is the art of controlled distance. Stay close enough to understand, far enough to see clearly, detached enough to remain free. You can't rise if you're tangled. You can't build if you're distracted. You can't master your path if you're constantly reacting to others. The man who learns to manage his space manages his destiny. So, take a step back, not out of fear, but focus. Withdraw, not to hide, but to sharpen. Detach, not to avoid love, but to protect purpose. Distance isn't the absence of power, it's the preparation for it. The more you practice it, the stronger your presence becomes. Because while the world shouts, you'll be the quiet one, observing, learning, evolving. And in a world that moves too fast to think, stillness becomes superiority. That's how the wise operate. Not loudly, not desperately, but from distance. Disciplined, deliberate, and always in control. Comment this now. My distance defines my direction. Number 6. The iron mind, emotional alchemy. Every man faces two choices in life, to be ruled by emotion or to rule over it. The difference between weakness and power lies in that single decision. The mind that bows to its feelings will always chase comfort. But the mind that forges its emotions into discipline becomes unstoppable. That's the iron mind, unbreakable, not because it doesn't feel, but because it transforms what it feels. Emotional alchemy is the art of turning pain into precision. Every disappointment, every rejection, every failure is raw material. The average man runs from it. The superior man refines it. He takes pain and burns it until it becomes clarity. He takes doubt and bends it until it becomes direction. He takes loss and compresses it until it becomes focus. Machiavelli understood something most people never will. That emotion is not your enemy. Uncontrolled emotion is. The world tries to convince you to suppress what you feel, but suppression is weakness disguised as stoicism. Real control doesn't come from avoiding emotion, it comes from mastering it. An iron mind doesn't fear emotion, it commands it. It allows itself to feel everything, but never to act blindly. Anger is studied, fear is analyzed, sadness is observed, desire is disciplined. The iron mind sees emotions like weapons, dangerous if handled without skill, powerful when wielded correctly. The truth is, emotion is energy. Every feeling carries momentum, but most people waste that energy in reaction. They shout, they panic, they self-destruct. The disciplined man collects that energy and redirects it toward purpose. That's alchemy, turning the base material of chaos into gold. When something hurts you, don't run. Watch what it teaches you. Every pain carries information. Every betrayal exposes where you gave too much. Every loss shows where you leaned too heavily. Every mistake reveals where ego blinded you. Pain is feedback, not punishment. The iron mind doesn't ask, why me? It asks, what now? That shift in language changes everything. Because life doesn't reward those who feel sorry for themselves. It rewards those who adapt faster than the situation can break them. You must train your mind to remain calm in chaos. When you face pressure, slow your breathing. When you feel fear, examine it. When you sense anger, hold it until it cools into insight. That's emotional alchemy in motion. You're not fighting your emotions. You're refining them into strategy. Every great strategist, leader, and thinker was an alchemist of emotion. They learned to stand still when the world screamed, to think while others reacted, to act when others hesitated. They knew that the higher you rise, the colder the air gets, and the more control you need to breathe clearly. When you let emotions dominate you, you become predictable, and predictability is weakness. The man who reacts impulsively loses to the man who moves intentionally. The iron mind never lets the world dictate its internal weather, rain or shine, peace or chaos. The state within remains the same, steady, aware, focused. But here's the paradox. The goal isn't to be emotionless. The goal is to be emotionally invincible, to feel everything deeply and still remain in control. Because power without empathy becomes tyranny, but empathy without control becomes vulnerability. The balance between the two is where mastery lives. You build an iron mind through repetition, the discipline of endurance. Every time you choose composure over reaction, focus over distraction, patience over panic, you're hammering steel into your psyche. Every challenge is the fire. Every act of restraint is the forge. And one day you wake up untouchable, not because life stopped testing you, but because you stopped breaking. Understand this, control is not suppression, it's transformation. When anger rises, don't fight it, channel it. Let it push you into sharper execution, not reckless destruction. When sadness comes, don't drown in it, study it. Let it teach you compassion and awareness. When fear whispers, don't deny it, use it as signal to prepare more precisely. The iron mind is not made in silence, it's made in struggle. Every trial, every loss, every moment where you wanted to quit, that's the fire shaping your steel. You can't harden metal without heat, and you can't harden character without adversity. The key is to welcome difficulty without resentment, to say, this too is training. The world today rewards reaction. It wants quick outrage, fast dopamine, instant validation, but none of that builds anything lasting. True men, real builders, real thinkers, real kings, they don't chase speed, they chase endurance. They don't chase praise, they chase peace. You must remember, your emotions are not obstacles. They're instruments, but only if you learn how to play them. The same fire that destroys a forest can forge a sword. The difference lies in control. When you hold that control, emotion becomes your servant, not your master. And that's when life changes, because the man who controls his emotions controls his energy. The man who controls his energy controls his focus. And the man who controls his focus controls outcomes. The iron mind is also self-forgiving. It doesn't waste energy on shame. When it makes mistakes, it learns. When it fails, it recalibrates. Because the longer you hold guilt, the less energy you have to evolve. The goal isn't perfection, it's progression. Cold, consistent progression. There will be moments where you feel drained, unmotivated, uncertain. That's natural. Even steel needs to cool before it's reforged. The key is not to confuse rest with regression. Recovery is part of discipline. The mind that rests with intention grows sharper in silence. So, when emotion hits, don't ask for escape. Ask for insight. Don't numb the feeling. Observe it. Write it down. Meditate on it. Let it show you the part of you that still needs growth. Because every emotion is a message. Even pain has purpose if you listen long enough. To live with an iron mind is to no longer be threatened by emotion. You stop fearing what you feel. You stop running from discomfort. You start using it. Pain becomes your reminder of resilience. Fear becomes your alert to prepare. Doubt becomes your invitation to deepen skill. That's what emotional alchemy is, not denial, but transformation. You don't suppress, you transmute. You turn emotional weight into emotional strength. Every time life throws heat, you say, "Good, let's forge." That mindset changes everything. The world can't manipulate you anymore. You stop being reactive to opinions, rejection, or chaos, because you've already learned to take every emotional hit and turn it into inner armor. An iron mind is not born, it's built. Built through adversity, reflection, and repetition. Every challenge you've faced was the universe testing your durability. Every heartbreak was teaching detachment. Every failure was sculpting focus. And if you endured, even barely, you're already stronger than before. Keep building, keep refining. Every day, add another layer of composure, another layer of understanding, another layer of strength. Because the more layers you forge, the less life can pierce you. The iron mind doesn't need to announce itself. Its power is quiet. People feel it when you walk in the room. The way you speak, the way you move, the way you don't react. You radiate calm power, and calm power commands respect. So remember this law. You cannot control life, but you can always control response. You can always control how long you dwell, how deep you sink, how quickly you rise. That's freedom. That's mastery. Turn emotion into energy. Turn energy into focus. Turn focus into progress. That is emotional alchemy, the eternal discipline of turning life's chaos into your creation. And when you master that, you become something rare, a man the world cannot shake. Comment this now. My mind turns pain into power. Number 7. Silence, the language of power. Silence. Most people fear it. The wise build their empire inside it. Noise is the drug of the restless. The world shouts, scrolls, and performs to fill the space where silence should live. But silence isn't emptiness, it's clarity. It's the arena where thoughts sharpen, emotions settle, and truth begins to speak. When you master silence, you stop reacting to volume. You no longer chase attention because you've learned that presence speaks louder than performance. The loud seek validation, the silent command it. Machiavelli once wrote that the wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Silence gives you that wisdom. It slows time. It lets you see what impulse hides. In silence, decisions mature. In silence, motives reveal themselves. In silence, you become unshakable. Every strong mind you admire was forged in quiet. Thinkers, builders, warriors, they all spent years alone with their thoughts before the world heard their names. They weren't avoiding people. They were constructing themselves. Because self-construction requires solitude. The crowd wants noise because noise hides weakness. But the silent man faces himself. He listens to his own mind without distraction. He studies the pattern of his thoughts until he finds discipline hidden beneath doubt. That's why silence is uncomfortable. It exposes what you haven't mastered yet. It shows you the parts of your character still ruled by fear, ego, or need. Most people can't handle that reflection, so they fill the room with sound. But you learn to stay still inside the mirror. The man who can remain silent in uncertainty becomes dangerous in the best way. He doesn't rush to explain. He doesn't panic to prove. He watches, observes, collects. While others waste energy filling the void, he draws energy from it. This is not arrogance. It's awareness. Silence is not a wall. It's a weapon. Used correctly, it controls pace and perception. When you pause before speaking, you create gravity. Every word that follows carries weight. The longer you hold silence, the more others reveal. People hate silence because it forces them to speak, and in speaking, they expose themselves. The silent man understands this. He doesn't need to interrogate. He lets time do the questioning. You've seen this power before. The leader who listens more than he talks, the mentor who measures every response, the man whose stillness fills a room louder than shouting ever could. That's real authority, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself. Silence is also discipline. It's the restraint to hold a truth when the world begs for your opinion. It's the composure to stay calm when provoked. It's the maturity to understand that your energy doesn't belong in every argument. Most conflicts die in silence, because silence removes the oxygen that keeps anger alive. When you don't react, the fire burns out. When you stay quiet, chaos starves. That's not weakness, that's tactical peace. The iron mind uses silence the way a sculptor uses space. Each pause shapes perception. Each withheld word carves strength. You don't need to be mysterious. You simply become measured. People begin to associate your quiet with depth, your calm with confidence. Understand this. Communication is not volume, it's impact. A whisper in the right moment can move more than a scream. A single look can convey more than paragraphs. The one who controls silence controls tension, and tension controls attention. There's a rhythm to power. Speak, pause, observe, adjust. The pause is where the insight lives. When you pause, you allow reality to catch up to your awareness. You see reactions forming. You notice hidden truths. You regain initiative. That's why every negotiation, every relationship, every leadership moment improves with silence. When you stop filling space, you start reading it. You start hearing what isn't said. Hesitation, uncertainty, insecurity. That's the information most people miss because they're too busy speaking. In silence, your intuition sharpens. You start recognizing energy before words. You sense sincerity, deceit, fatigue. You read people the way a general reads terrain, because silence trains your perception to operate beyond noise. Machiavellian silence isn't emotional detachment, it's focused observation. It says, I don't need to rush, I need to understand. It's patience weaponized. The quiet strategist knows that what's unspoken often reveals more than what's declared. There's also an inner silence, the one that exists even in chaos. It's when the mind stops echoing every worry. It's when your thoughts become orderly, when your emotions obey command. That silence is peace, not because the world grew quieter, but because you did. You build inner silence by facing your thoughts directly. Sit with discomfort. Let it talk. Let it lose power by expressing itself inside your awareness. The moment you stop resisting silence, it turns from threat to teacher. Silence is where vision grows. Every plan, every idea, every invention begins in quiet. Creation requires incubation, and incubation requires space. That's why the constant need for noise kills creativity. The mind can't hear its own genius above the crowd. You have to reclaim quiet like a sacred ritual. Turn off distractions. Step outside the algorithm. Sit still long enough to feel boredom, and then push through it. On the other side of boredom lies brilliance. The greatest warriors meditate before battle. The greatest thinkers walk alone before they write. The greatest men speak less than they observe. They all understand the same law. Silence amplifies awareness. Don't confuse silence with indifference. You can care deeply and still stay quiet. You can love fiercely and still speak sparingly. Silence protects what words would cheapen. Some emotions are too sacred to perform. Controlled silence also teaches humility. It reminds you that not every moment is yours to dominate. Sometimes strength means letting others speak while you learn. Sometimes leadership means listening until truth emerges on its own. But silence must be conscious, not cowardly. It's not avoidance, it's assertion. You choose not to speak because you've already understood. You choose not to react because you've already decided. That choice is power in its purest form. Over time, silence becomes your signature. People start to notice that you don't waste words, that when you finally speak, everyone listens. Because scarcity creates value, and your voice, used wisely, becomes priceless. This is the paradox of silence. The less you give, the more you command. The calmer you are, the more others bend toward your rhythm. Noise chases attention, silence pulls it. To master silence, practice these three things. First, listen, not just to words, but to tone, timing, hesitation. The truth hides there. Second, observe people, patterns, outcomes. Observation builds foresight. Third, wait. Never rush to fill the void. Let it reveal what you couldn't see before. Soon you'll realize silence isn't passive, it's proactive. Every quiet moment is an act of control. You're guiding attention, not surrendering it. When you can sit in silence without anxiety, you've already won half the war, because the world loses its grip on those who no longer fear stillness. Let others crave noise, you will crave understanding. Let others demand to be seen, you will work until your results speak louder than your words. That's how silence becomes language. Precise, deliberate, powerful. It's the pause before the strike, the breath before the command, the calm before the transformation. In silence, you stop chasing influence. You become influence. You stop chasing peace. You radiate peace. You stop fighting to be heard. You embody what must be said. And that's when the world listens, not to your voice, but to your presence. Comment this now. My silence speaks strength. Number 8, the psychology of detachment. Detachment is not indifference, it's precision. It's the art of caring deeply, but never losing yourself in what you care for. The world glorifies obsession, constant motion, constant emotion. But the wise know that attachment blinds and detachment clarifies. When you detach, you see clearly. You stop confusing your value with outcomes, your identity with opinions, your peace with performance. You realize you can give your best to something and still be whole when it ends. That's freedom, not the absence of feeling, but the presence of self-control. Machiavelli understood that power demands perspective, and perspective requires distance. The man who is too entangled cannot think strategically. The leader who needs approval cannot lead with truth. Detachment is the space between stimulus and response, the breath that turns reaction into decision. It doesn't mean you stop loving, building, or striving. It means you stop depending. You give everything your focus, but you never let it consume you. When you detach, you can walk through failure without losing confidence, and through success without losing humility. Detachment protects energy. You stop leaking emotion into situations that don't deserve it. You start saving your mental resources for what matters. You begin to operate from intention, not insecurity. And that shift from needing to choosing transforms everything. Most people cling because they fear loss, but what you cling to controls you. Detachment teaches that everything in life is borrowed: time, relationships, opportunities. Appreciate them fully, but never chain your identity to them. The moment you can say, "I can enjoy this without needing it," you've reached mastery. The detached mind observes emotion like weather, acknowledges the rain, but doesn't drown in it. It sees joy and sadness as visitors, not landlords. You let them pass, and in their place, peace arrives. This doesn't make you cold, it makes you constant. You're no longer tossed by every storm. You can stay calm when others panic, patient when others rush, grounded when others grasp. That calmness becomes your signal, your silent authority. True detachment is love without control, ambition without desperation, discipline without rigidity. It's the ability to give everything while staying free inside. Detach not to escape life, detach to experience it fully. When you stop clinging, you start seeing. When you stop needing, you start attracting. When you stop forcing, you start flowing. That's the psychology of detachment. Not withdrawal, but wisdom. To hold, release, and remain whole. Comment this now. I am free because I do not cling. Number 9. The untouchable state. The untouchable state is not perfection, it's presence. It's when no chaos outside can disturb the order within. You've turned pressure into focus, silence into clarity, emotion into energy, and distance into direction. Now, you move through life like still water, reflecting everything, absorbing nothing. No opinion defines you, no failure breaks you, no success owns you. You have mastered the rarest power, peace under fire. When the world demands reaction, you stand silent. When it tests you, you smile, because you've built something unshakable, yourself. Comment this now. I am untouchable. And if this spoke to your discipline, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because Psygrythm is where strength learns stillness.